Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's go ahead and talk 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 5, Episode 8. So if you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of various TV shows, which include recaps of the episode with my own thoughts, opinions, theories, all that good type of stuff. So if you enjoy that type of content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video if you enjoyed today's video, hop into the comment section, let's talk about it. And if you guys want to follow me on like Instagram and Twitter, it is at Tammy Talks. On Twitter, I typically live tweet shows that I'm watching, and I just tweet about a bunch of stuff. And then for Instagram, it's Instagram, pictures and videos and all that good kind of stuff. But I am Tammy Talks any and everywhere you are looking for me. I'm Tammy Talks. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. I got some big old pieces of paper, because I found like an extra notebook in my house, and I was like, I'm gonna take my notes on this. So let's get started with, before that, I want to start with some of the couples that I don't typically talk about. Ben. Now, the reason someone wants to ask me, why don't I talk about Ben and Mahogany, and why don't I talk about Ella and I think Johnny is the name of the guy. Ella and Johnny I don't talk about because he's not coming over here to see her. He is not coming to the United States to see her. He's just not. No matter how she tries to disguise it, no matter what she tries to do, what she wants to do, how she wants to frame it, what he tells her, he is not coming over here to see her. So it's kind of like, it's a waste. It's kind of, to me, it's a waste to talk about couples that aren't actually at least together on the show, physically together. And then Ben, if Ben has money to just waste and fly over to another country after she told him don't come, then he can go ahead and send it to me, because my Cash App is Tammy Talks as well, Ben. Because I just feel like that was silly. I just thought that was stupid. Now, she told you don't come over here. She don't want to meet you. Her dad doesn't approve or anything like that. And then you still go. You still go. You still thought it best to go and then want to stand up in the middle of the street and cry. I'm sorry, but I felt nothing for Ben, because you shouldn't have went over there. You shouldn't have went over there. And I get your little feelings are hurt, but like, you did it to yourself. Nonetheless, let's get to the couples that, actually has something going on. So, Gino and Jasmine, we'll start with them because they had the shortest amount of camera time, it seems like. So they are headed to the airport because they're going to go on their trip. Remember, Jasmine kind of conned Gino into paying for this $2,500 trip after he said he didn't really have the money to spend $500 on clothes. But okay, so they're on a trip, and they're it's on this like private island, and she's saying how she has never been because it's so expensive. And Gino's like, yeah, it's expensive. You paid for it, dum-dum. You chose to pay for it. So they land, and like they have like a little private house, private cabana type situation, and they're standing outside, and Jasmine feels bad because of the way that she's been acting. And I think she kind of had this moment of like, he's really cashing out on me. You can tell that he really likes me. I can tell he really likes me. And here I am being a brat, overreacting about literally everything. So she apologizes for like her attitude. She says she feels guilty. And he's like, no, it's fine. You apologize. So it's okay. And I'm like, Gino, you're going to be accepting and excusing her behavior, accepting apologies and excusing her behavior forever if y'all do make it. And that's just not the type of life you need to live. You have seen a lot of red flags from her. You need to take heed of these red flags. Figure out if it's worth it to you or not, because I just don't think it is. I don't think it is. So later they are sitting out by a pool by the water, and they're having some drinks, and Gino just looks guilty. Like, Gino, I don't know, he keeps making these faces like he's nervous to be around her, or he's uncomfortable being around her. It's really weird, but he always has this look of like fear on his face with her. So she says that she's proud of the progress they've made. Okay, they've been together for a little over a week now, and she's like, she trusts him more now than she did before. Like, she feels that they were in a really good place, and she knows that she is matured because one of his exes messaged her. She requested her as a friend and messaged her saying that they still talk and that Gino has told her all about Jasmine. And Jasmine was like, oh, I know you didn't do that because I told you that I don't want you talking to your exes. So Jasmine is like, but you know what? I'm not going to flip out about it. Look, I was cool with it. You know what I mean? That's, growth. That's what she's giving, the growth of it all. Meanwhile, she was like, I simply just blocked her, right? Meanwhile, Gino is over there, guilt all over his face, right? Like, he looks like he's about to shit himself because he is so he's so nervous. So she was like, what's the look on your face? Because, have you been talking to her? And Gino admits in the confessional that he did something stupid. I said, oh, Lord, what'd you do? So he said that he contacted her because on some braggy shit, and he wanted to tell her that he has met the woman of his dreams and he's super happy and all this other type of stuff. And she was like, well, when did you do that? He said 2 or 3 days ago. Gino, why did you do that? Why did you do that? One, because I feel like 2 or 3 days ago, she was screaming at you because you had stuff that your ex-wife picked out in your house still. So if she's flipping out about you having decorations and colors that your ex-wife picked out, you really thought it best to go back up to the room and text this woman? I said, Lord have mercy. So the woman is like, so then Jasmine is like, I know that you aren't just doing that. Because Jasmine was on the woman is jealous. She knows about us just like that, just trying to get in my head. So Jasmine is like, I'm going to unblock her and I want to see what she's saying. So Jasmine unblocks her, and we see on next week's episode on the preview that apparently Gino sent her naked pictures of Jasmine. Floored. Absolutely and utterly and truly floored. Gino, why would you do that? It's one thing to be like, look, I done found me somebody. I'm happy. I'm in love. This is it for me. We're done for real, for really. And then it's another thing for you to send her naked pictures of Jasmine. And see, Gino, I've been on your side majority of this. I've been on your side with everything outside of you giving her the toothbrush for Christmas. This is silly. This is silly. And you gonna do this to this crazy heifer too? So we'll find out what happens with Gino next week. Hopefully Jasmine don't hide the body. But that is crazy. So Kim and Usman, they're waking up the next morning after spending the night together. She begged him and guilted him into staying the night with her, so he did. She is saying how they didn't kiss, but he touched other body parts. I said, okay, girl, got you a little something. All right. So he goes back to his hotel because he doesn't have any clothes with him there. And she kind of tells him that, maybe you should pack up and bring your luggage over here and just stay over here. And he was kind of like, why would I do that? But he goes to his room and he probably thought about it and he's packing up his stuff. So his assistant and the manager come over and they're asking him, why are you packing? Why are you going to stay with her? And like I told y'all before, I'm sick of them. My whole thing is like, y'all work for him. If he wants to have Kim around, he can have Kim around. It's not like he's spending money on Kim. He's not like, Kim is not getting anything out of it. He's not losing anything with this. So like I don't understand why they're making a big deal about that. So, but Usman does tell them that while she's not that attractive, she's extremely loyal and he really likes her loyalty. And he doesn't want to rush things with her. He wants to find out if she's really with him for him or if she's with him because he's Soulja Boy. And I'm like, it's because it's you. I don't think it's because you're so, but Who knows? Who knows? So meanwhile, back at Kim's room, she done got on her little lingerie. Okay, it's pink, has little red hearts on it, and she said that she's gonna seduce Usman tonight while she sips on her champagne. Says it's a do or die moment. I said it's absolutely not a do or die moment. It's absolutely not a do or die moment. It's given rhymes with AP, the way that Kim is talking about it. So he comes over and he knocks on the door and he has his luggage with him and she's shocked. So she was like, well, he came and he brought his luggage, so we must be together. And it's like, Kim, you are way too hot in the pants, girl. Calm down. Calm down. So she is geek. She shows him her lingerie. He doesn't seem that impressed with it. He's just on some, oh, okay, nice. Very, very nice. He's not rude, though. So then she was like, are you ready to go to bed? Again, they get in bed. Well, he gets in bed with outside clothes on in the pandemic. But he gets in the bed and he's like, okay, let's go to sleep. And she was like, why are we going to go to sleep? Let's have sex. Just very brash like that. So he was like, no. Here's my thing. I completely understand where Usman is coming from, right? So Usman is saying that when they are in a relationship, they will have sex. When the time is right, they can have sex. He feels that it's rushed right now, and it is. And I think a bigger part of the thing that's like killing me with everybody that's on these shows is that they feel like because they have been talking to these people for X amount of months that they know these people, and right when they see each other, it's going to be this instant spark, this instant connection. And Usman just wants to play it a little slow. I mean, I've heard from y'all, I didn't watch last season, but I've heard from y'all that he's basically using her, and this is kind of what he does. But my thing is like, still, like, Kim, you don't know him. On top of that, the way she's going about it is very crass. It's giving TLC ain't too proud to beg. It's annoying. So she calls bullshit. Okay? She said that's bullshit, and she was like, now I'm starting to wonder if you even want me at all. And I said, oh, don't do that, Kim. Don't do that. You just got him over here. So he said, you know what? I don't have time for this. Do you want me or do you want the sex? And so he said, I'm going back. I'm getting my clothes on and I'm leaving. And I'd be damned if he put his shirt on and he left. And Kim is sitting there not quite understanding what happened. But I kind of feel like this too. Kimbali, there's a way to do it. And I don't know where she learned the art of seduction, but flat out saying I want sex is not seducing somebody. That's not seducing somebody. Like, there's a way to, like, y'all haven't even kissed yet. Why don't you try kissing him before expecting that y'all are going to have full-blown sex? It's weird. It's very, very weird the way she's going around about this. It's thirsty, it's tacky, it's cringy, and I have secondhand embarrassment watching it. So she's in there, so now she's like in tears. So she's like talking to the cameraman. Is he gone? They like, girl, I don't know. We in the room with you. So then she like chases after him. And he was like, go get my bags. I want to go back to my room. And I said, oh, he big mad. But I understand where Usman is coming from too. Like, do you just want me just for sex? Because that is all she's seemingly always says to him. Let's have sex. Let's have sex. Let's have sex. Let's have sex. Like, it does come across a way. So she's able to get him to come back to the room. They talk more. He tells her he wants to wait until they are official. That's how he does things in his country. This is another thing, another reason why on this show, people have to be careful of the people that they are getting into these relationships with. Because a lot of them, in their cultures, their religions, it is very different than how we live in the United States. So he's saying in his culture, if you are in a relationship, then it's cool for you to have sex. But you can't just be out here hoeing all over the world, Kim. So next thing you know, she starts crying and saying how she doesn't know how he feels. And then he was like, girl, good night, and closes his eyes. So now she jumps out of bed, said that she can't do this anymore. She doesn't want to do this anymore. Okay, those are the notes I lost. I thought I lost some more notes. So she jumps out of the bed, says she can't do this anymore. She doesn't want to do this anymore. She feels disrespected. So she feels that he's being disrespectful to her by not wanting sex. So then she was like, my son is going to cuss you out. So now Usman is mad because it's like, why are you even bringing your son into this? He then said, that is my child. That's my son. He's beneath me. I said, whoa. Flag on, let me get my red flag. Flag on the play, Usman. But I mean, I see what Usman is saying. Like, don't be bringing other people into this because your son does not have anything to do with our relationship. At the same time, I think your son is going to check you, Kim, for how you're portraying yourself on camera. So basically, Usman is like, if your son is not going to respect me, then I don't want to talk to him. So now Kim feels that he is disrespecting her son, but they decide to just go to sleep that night, and that's going to be the end of that relationship. Congratulations, Kim, because that's done. All right. So then let's move on to Mike and Ximena. Yeah, Mike and Ximena. So Mike is saying that he doesn't think his hygiene is a big deal. Mike, that's why your ass been single. Because you don't think your hygiene is a big deal. You don't think your hygiene is a big deal. That's why you're single. So they're in this cab, and Mike blows his nose and was going to put it in the, the cushion, the pocket behind the seat. And then she was like, don't do that. This ain't your car. His excuse is there's no garbage can. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket. I'm sorry, but that probably would have been it for me. Because that makes me wonder, what else do you stick tissues? Where else do you stick garbage if there's no garbage can, no basura available? That really pissed me off. It's a pandemic. Your driver has on a mask. And here you are blowing your nose, your bodily fluids, and going to stick it in his car. That is... Your hygiene is a problem, Mike. It is a problem. So he then tells her that he has ADHD and that makes him distracted. Said that because of that, he forgets that he has clothes on the floor, and then he forgets to go put them in the washing machine. He didn't tell her because he was afraid of her reaction. Y'all gonna stop throwing out stuff that just kind of don't make sense. I don't know anybody, I don't think I do, personally, that has ADHD. I have never heard of that being like a cause or a symptom, side effect, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know if that necessarily makes sense to me. So if you or somebody that you know suffers from ADHD, let me know if that can cause you to be forgetful. I didn't know that forgetfulness was a part of that. However, I'm calling bullshit on that just because Mike keeps saying how it's just not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Now, conveniently, you want to tell her, but a couple of episodes ago, you told her that you don't want to have any secrets between the two of y'all. So you got a whole medical condition that you didn't tell her about. Alrighty. So she said that, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. She's willing to help him. She's not going to leave him because of that, all this other kind of stuff. Ximena don't like that man. Ximena sees a better opportunity, possibly in a new country for her and her kids. So Mike is at home. He said he wants to put forth a better effort to be better around the house, okay? So he decides to make dinner, and he makes spaghetti and cheese sauce. And I'm thinking, why couldn't you just make spaghetti and marinara sauce? Why couldn't you just go get a jar of Alfredo? Get a can of tomato sauce. Why did you put cheese on spaghetti? So Ximena told her kids don't eat this because it's undercooked. You're going to get colic. You're going to get sick. And I'm like, how do you undercook pasta? If anything, if you cannot cook pasta, just let it swell up in the water. You know what I mean? Like, read the box. What did the box say? Like, I can't with Mike. Mike stresses me out to no avail. So he sees how she's looking. She's not eating. She sent her kids to bed without food. And he was like, based on how she looked, I think it best if I just stick to helping clean. I think so too. Because you really thought the best thing to do was to make spaghetti noodles and put cheese sauce on top of it. So then he meets with him and his dad. And he wants to get her blessing. He wants to get her dad's blessing for marriage. Her dad said he's not convinced. You know, he asked Mike basic questions. What's her favorite color? What's her favorite food? Mike doesn't know the answer. And her father is kind of like, y'all, you need to learn Spanish. I feel like he needs to learn Spanish and she needs to learn English. They need to meet halfway so they can better communicate. It kind of needs to be a little more on the side of her learning English because she plans to come over here. So it'll be a lot easier for her to start learning some English. I think it's kind of shitty that she hasn't attempted to learn some English at all, considering he has attempted to learn Spanish. You know what I mean? He's walking around with a translator, but we don't see her really trying to put forth any effort. So she kind of meets with her friends. She meets with her friends after that, or like her family and friends, and they're telling her if Mike proposes, then what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to say? She says she doesn't know. She sees red flags with him, you know, the hygiene, the cleanliness, just like some of the stuff that he does. She's not that, you know, pleased with. On top of the fact, I don't think she thinks Mike is attractive to her. So her family is like, it's a better opportunity for you. You know, you won't have to go back to work. You know, he'll keep paying all the bills. He'll take care of your kids. So her family is seeing the come up, whereas Ximena is like, Ximena feels like she just does not know what to do. And I'm like, what a mess. What a mess. What a mess. So finally, I forgot. Mike went and asked her kids, how would they like if he became their dad? They've never known a dad. Her sons have grown a liking to him. He probably plays around with them, wrestles with him, that type of stuff. He's clearly buying them stuff. So the kids were like, yeah, you know, I would love for you to be my dad. So he's excited for that. I was a little nervous because while he was talking to the older one, I think his name is Juan, the younger one, like, looked like he walked off. And I was like, Mike ain't paying no attention, but I guess since the camera crew was there, it's okay. So finally, Caleb and Elena. Now, y'all know they said Elena got fired because she was posting racist stuff in the past on her Facebook and her Instagram. I told y'all I never saw for her. Y'all felt sorry for her because of her condition. I saw trash in her from the moment she got on screen with that nasty attitude. But let's talk about her and Caleb, or Caleb as she calls him. So Caleb feels that he can't trust her because of the lie with her boyfriend. And I'm on Caleb's side with that just because it wasn't anything worth lying about. You had never met Caleb. You could have easily told Caleb that you had just broken up with your you had just broken up with your boyfriend. Y'all were still living together until you got your stuff together to move out, or he got his stuff together to move out. The fact that you lied about that and thought that was that big of a deal, whatever, girl. So Caleb told her that, you know, he would have never even known about it if Elijah hadn't told him. So he's concerned about that. Like, what else are you lying about? What else do I need to wait for Elijah to kind of put on Front Street? She said, well, yeah, Elijah brought it up because he knows that she was scared to talk about it. Girl, grow up. You're not scared to beg for sex. You're not scared to fly across you're not scared to fly to another country to meet a stranger, but you're scared to tell him that back in the day, years ago, you were living with your ex-boyfriend. So, Caleb said he needs some space, okay? He wants to go think things out. He's not ready to commit to her because basically he can't trust her. So he goes to the gym, and she was like, Elijah's leaving in an hour. Come say bye before he leaves. Now, I fully thought that that he was not going to make it back. I did. Elena tells the camera that she feels that Caleb is using that as an excuse not to think about their future. She doesn't think that it was a big deal. If it wasn't a big deal, why were you scared to say it? So she goes to Elijah's room and asks, what should she do? Elijah said, look, either it's going to work out or it's not. But you need to get a definitive answer. Before y'all go back your separate ways. Like, that's basically what it is. I don't know what you want out of Elijah. I don't know why Elijah is your conscience, but you gotta, Elena needs to be an adult, put your big girl panties on, and deal with this situation. So Caleb does come to say bye to Elijah, and Elijah tells him that Elena is a queen, and you need to treat her as such and be respectful of her. And by that, he means figuring out what they are before they leave. Like, don't kind of leave her hanging in the balance. So Caleb is excited that him and Elena get to have some alone time that does not involve Elijah. So they go to a bathhouse, and then after that, they go for tea. So he tells her he wants to forget about the secret, okay? He wants to move forward and see what they can do with it. He tells her she means a lot to him and all this other stuff. And she was just like, I'm happy to hear that, but I'm confused because you were cold to me earlier and you're kind of back and forth. And it's like, Elena, I don't know what you're confused about. You lied about something. He had to hear about it from your friend who has been overstepping his bounds all throughout the trip. He had to hear about it that way. You didn't even have the guts to come out and say it yourself. So it's not like he's being hot and cold. He's being a normal human being. I will say this though. I don't think we ever really hear Elena tell him how much she likes him. Unless I've missed it, but I have not heard Elena say, I like you so much. I see a future with you. It's like she wants him to basically be like, oh my God, I love you so much. I want to be with you so much. And she's not even giving that type of energy back. The only thing that Elena keeps saying is how fast she wants them to move, how she wants to answer before they leave. When is she going to get cut from the show? Because I'm sick of her. I thought they were cutting her scenes. I don't want to talk about her no more. But that has been 90 Day Fiance. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel. Hop into the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about Sunday night's episode. And I will catch you guys in the next one.